Welcome back. We're glad to have you along with part 2 of Gray Ribbon Adventures Western Trip. After 3 peaceful nights along Morrison Lake, it was time to move on. Apparently, our heater felt the same way as thick smoke poured out of it and a 12-inch burst of flame. After a couple restart attempts, I gave up until I could research it once I had a cell signal because, didn't want to burn the camper down. A lunch stop with copious signal allowed me to check both the weather and troubleshoot the heater. With the forecast calling for low 20s and a severe winter storm warning for the area we planned to camp, even if I could fix it, we had some thinking to do. Turns out the likely culprit was excessive soot from running it nearly non-stop for 3 days at altitude. So I dutifully whacked at the exhaust with a hammer and soot began to fall out, so maybe there's some hope after all. Unfortunately, the Webasto gods decided we were not worthy, refusing to bring the heater back to life despite judicious, percussive persuasion. Probably just as well as the gorgeous view of our site was rapidly swallowed by dark clouds. Every phase of precipitation started falling all at once, with lightning ground strikes coming well within 100 yards of us. Time to get out and hunker down in nearby Butte for the evening in a hotel. Just missed a huge flash of lightning, and I've seen thunder snow. I've never purposely been out in thunder snow. So, yeah, adventure time. We left inches of snow and silver dollar-sized flakes behind as we hastily left for Missoula the next morning. After just a couple hours in the shop, thank you, Peak Thermo King, the heater was back up and running after removing a completely clogged muffler that I wouldn't have thought of. We also lucked out in that our Airbnb hosts in Missoula got the house ready a day early for us. So now we'd have 3 days to get some laundry done, take real showers, and let the dogs enjoy the great front yard. Sit. After stocking back up for another week on the road, we finally found some dirt. We were on our way to Lake Koocanusa, to what would prove to be another incredible sight. While April cruised along, I noticed a waterfall symbol nearby on Gaia. A narrow 2-track to our left seemed to go in that general direction, so she dutifully stuffed Truckosaurus into the trees. There it was. Just wow. Fun fact, Lake Koocanusa isn't some native name. It's actually a combination of the Kootenai River being dammed to form a lake that exists in both Canada and the USA. A woman from Eureka, Montana actually won a contest to name it while the dam was under construction.
Hey buddy, get your bone. Get it. Good boy.
The wind was whipping and the water was frigid, but that didn't keep Havoc the barracuda dog from having a blast.
Where you going, cheater? You cold, buddy? You think? Yeah? Okay. Okay.
The perfect evening at almost the perfect campsite ended with some journaling, a fire, and s'mores. We were pretty reluctant knowing that we were going to have to leave the next morning. After bidding a fond farewell to Lake Koocanusa, we set course for a spot we found last year north of Polbridge, Montana. As the temps climbed, we were pretty eager to pull up next to the Flathead River on the border of Glacier National Park. The rapidly climbing temperatures were causing a lot of snowmelt. Mother Nature seemingly had other plans for us, though. A detour for culvert repair forced us through a lengthy section of heavy, wet, packable late spring snow. You know, the kind perfect for driving through. And we almost made... or not. Out came the shovel and go treads, and after a few too many attempts, we were free. Despite April not getting the glorious snow-slinging moment on camera. No, really, it was glorious. Freed from our icy prison, we made our way out to refuel. When, across the street, I noticed a massive nest with the top of a white head barely visible. So I put up my Mavic 3 Pro from the parking lot so I could use the zoom lens and stay a respectable distance away and not disturb the inhabitants. An osprey guarding its eggs. How cool is that? I pointed the truck east on FS 114, one of only 3 routes through the Whitefish Mountains of the Flathead National Forest. Over halfway there, and yeah.
That's a problem. Well, just got hosed by snow again. There was 0 chance I was trying to get across that. There's no way. So, yeah, we're probably gonna have to find a new spot because we're hours from going around to where we wanted to go. So, kind of a bummer. But we'll try to get the pole bridge tomorrow because April wants her bear claw.
A last-ditch attempt to cross over the only remaining path was met with an insane amount of snow, forcing us to turn around yet again and retreat back to Upper Whitefish Lake Campground. This was a hard and incredibly frustrating day, with some breakdowns in communication, made only worse with the struggles that April endures daily since her surgery. So we both retreated to our corners, and I blew off some steam, taking in the wonder surrounding us from above. Tomorrow's a new day after all.
I'll put my light in a bottle, something to guide your way. Even if you're too scared to follow, there's a light in each new day. If the moon gives up rising, the sun stops it shining, you know you'll have a hand to hold. As we wait on the timing, together we find it. There's more than one way to go home. I know you're tired of this pattern. One up and three below. When you're chasing after what matters, your heart knows where to go. If the moon gives up rising, the sun stops it shining, you know you'll have a hand to hold. As we wait on the timing, together we find it. There's more than one way to go home. If the moon gives up rising, the sun stops it shining, you know you've got a hand to hold. As we wait on the timing, together we find it. There's more than one way to go home. Yeah, there's more than one way to go home.
As always, we appreciate you riding along with us. Stay tuned for part 3 of our Western adventure.